Not a cloud in sight today. Beautiful afternoon. Now, we still got very warm with a high topping out at 85 degrees at Kenner, but the humidity was lower than it was yesterday. But still, even with this low humid air, our afternoons with bright sunshine still able to get into the 80s. That will change next week. Right now, our temperatures are in the 80s. Today's high, as I mentioned, was 85, so above the average, not quite to the record. And at least, again, the humidity was a bit lower, so it was a more comfortable day. And humidity low enough that early morning lows were in the upper 40s and low 50s on the North Shore. We generally stayed in the 60s south of the lake near the water. Buras was at 71 degrees. But again, temperatures coming way down for several days next week. Not going to last forever. It's October. We still can get kind of that return flow from the Gulf, and it does look like the fall-like feel not going to last all week. We'll talk more about that in a moment. A lot of sunshine over downtown, 84 degrees with a dew point of 47, so the humidity right now is only at 27%, so a very dry air mass, but we were still able to get very warm, 70s to low 80s outside, but with dew points low, this evening we'll be getting cooler and very pleasant. The forecast for the dew points, though, will be increasing. Now, not dramatically so. Tomorrow still looks to be very nice, just a little more humid, a little warmer. I'd say more of a muggy feel likely on Sunday as we really start to tap into that Gulf moisture. Winds right now kind of all over the place and very light. That's one of the reasons why we didn't really get much of a huge change in our air mass. This wasn't a strong front that moved on through. And another little upper trough is deepening south, but again, this is all staying to our north. So the energy is starting to finally favor some cooler air moving south. It's just needs a little bit more of a punch as much of the south central United States is able to warm up with the coldest of the air staying to our north. But at least for me, I like the chill. We are beginning to tap into that Canadian air. And again, for next week, we will see it moving farther south. For this weekend, no, it's going to stay mainly across the northern tier states, the high plains, and the Great Lakes. As we head into early next week, here comes that colder air, and it is going to push pretty far south where we're looking at some very chilly temperatures. Obviously, the coldest will stay more across the Great Lakes, Ohio Valley, and Northeast, but for us, a big drop in temperature. How cold? Well, we'll say chilly. Afternoon highs once we get into Monday later in the day, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, highs will stay in the 60s. But notice we start warming up pretty quickly by Friday, and it looks like kind of a warmer stretch as we head into the following week. These are the morning lows. Tuesday morning, low 50s, probably some upper 40s, 50s to low 60s on the South Shore. By Wednesday morning, 30s and 40s, and likely cold enough Wednesday, if the winds settle, to see some frost on the North Shore and in Mississippi. Probably a similar morning for Thursday, 30s, low 40s, and even 40s south of the lake. So a chill is on the way as we head into next week. For this weekend, though, again, the humidity starting to come back because of an east and then southeasterly wind. We're not tapping into deep tropical moisture. You'll just kind of feel the difference. Won't be quite as dry as it was today. Then here comes our front. Some point in the midday, early afternoon hours, the front should move on through, and behind it, chilly, breezy. Note the model doesn't paint in a whole lot of rainfall, so looks like, again, with this front, not much in the way of rain associated. Warmer, a little more humid for the weekend, especially on Sunday. Temperatures will be dropping once the front pushes on through, maybe later afternoon and evening on Monday. And then by Tuesday morning, 40s, 50s, around 60 degrees and a high of 67. Chilly mornings Wednesday, Thursday, especially on the North Shore. We will begin warming right back up, though, by next Friday.